Good morning, everyone. I am JVN EKTA RANA and welcome to the first lecture of English Literature, a Renaissance and Metaphysical Schools. Our today's topic is John Donne. We will discuss the biography of John Donne. The English writer and Anglican cleric John Donne is considered now to be the preeminent metaphysical poet of his time. He was born in 1572 to Roman Catholic parents when practicing the religion was illegal in England. His work is distinguished by his emotional and sonic intensity and its capacity to plumb the paradoxes of faith, human and divine love, and possibility of salvation. Donne often employs conceits or extended metaphors to yoke together heterogeneous ideas, in the words of Samuel Johnson, thus generating the powerful ambiguity for which his work is famous. After a resurgence in his popularity in the early 20th century, Donne's standing as a great English poet and one of the greatest writers of English prose is now assured. The history of Donne's reputation is the most remarkable of any major writers in English. No other body of great poetry has fallen so far from the favour for so long. In Donne's own days, his poetry was highly prized among the small circle of the admirers, who read it as it was circulated in manuscripts, and in his later years he gained wide fame as a preacher. For some 30 years after his death, successive editions of his verse stamped his powerful influence upon English poets. During the Restoration, his writing went out of fashion and remained so for several centuries. Throughout the 18th century and much of the 19th century too, he was little read and scarcely appreciated. It was not until the end of the 1800s that Donne's poetry was eagerly taken up by a growing band of avant-garde readers and writers. His prose remained largely unnoticed until 1919. In the first two decades of the 20th century, Donne's poetry was decisively rehabilitated. Its extraordinary appeal to modern readers throws light on the modernist movement, as well as on our initiative response to our own times. Donne may no longer be the cult figure he became in the 1920s and in 1930s, when T.S. Eliot, W.V. Yeats, and among other writers discovered in his poetry the peculiar fusion of intellect and passion and the alert contemporariness which they aspire to in their own art. He is not a poet for all tastes and times, yet for many readers, Donne remains what Ben Jonson judged him. In Ben Jonson's words, John Donne is the first poet in the world in some things. His poets continue to engage the attention and the challenge that experience of readers who come to his afresh. His high place in the pantheon of the English poet now seems secure. Donne's love poetry was written nearly 400 years ago, yet one reason for its appeal is that it speaks to us as directly and urgently as if we overhear a present confidence. For instance, a lover who is about to board ship for a long voyage turns back to share a large intimacy with his mistress. Here he take my picture in Elegy 5th. Two lovers who have turned their backs upon a threatening world in the good morrow celebrate their discovery of the new world in each other. The quoted lines are here. Let's see discoveries to new worlds have gone. Let maps to others, worlds on worlds have shown. Let us possess one world, each hath one and is one. So, today we will wind up here. In the next lecture, we will again continue with John Donne. Thank you.